Hi everyone! Today I'm going to give you my basic guide to these miniature dollhouse kits that I put together on my channel. Maybe you're thinking of giving one as a present or you got one yourself. This guide will help you get the most out of it. The kits I usually get are available from places like AliExpress, Banggood, eBay, and even Amazon, and are usually in the $15 to $30 range. Most of these kits will ship from China directly. However, I have had some shipped from Singapore, Norway, Kazakhstan, and a few other surprising places. When they arrive, the packaging unfortunately will be damaged. Of all the kits I have received, only one was undamaged. However, only one of these kits was so badly damaged that I couldn't assemble it according to the instructions. Inside the kit, you should find all of the bits you need for making the little room or set in little bags. Some sheets of paper for the walls and floor, and sometimes some tools and glue, and of course some instructions. The tools that come in these kits are almost always terrible. Your best bet is to get your own set of tools. You don't need many, and they don't have to be fancy or expensive. Normally I use an X-Acto knife, a metal ruler, a pair of scissors, and a pair of needle nose pliers. Some tweezers may help, but not entirely necessary, and of course you want to have your own glue. The glue that is included in these kits is usually a plain white glue, nothing fancy, not bad either. However, it has been sitting inside this box for an unknown amount of time, so the quality of this glue is really unknown. It might be all gummed up, it might not be sticky anymore, it might be all watery. Your best bet is to not use it at all and to get your own glue. You can use just plain white glue, Schoolcraft glue, things like that, but I actually prefer using Beacon Hill's 3-in-1 craft glue. It dries clear, it dries quickly, and will stick almost anything to almost anything else. It's a very good glue. The paper parts that come in these kits will usually be rolled or gently bent to prevent any unwanted creases from forming. However, again in transit, the paper may have been crushed, creased, or even ripped. In these cases, you can try to repair the best you can. You can pull paper tight when gluing it to the other things it has to be glued to hide creases or wrinkles. Some clear tape will go a long way for fixing rips. And if all else fails, you can always print your own wallpaper or flooring or any other texture on an inkjet printer, and it will look almost as nice as the original. If you want to have a nice glossy finish like the sheets of paper, you can use photo paper in your inkjet printer and it should come out just as nice. For the little wooden parts, the first thing you should do is take them out of the bag and have a look to see if any are broken. Some of the wooden parts in these kits can be very thin and can break very easily when they're shipped and handled. Fixing these is not a big deal, usually just a little dab of glue and pushing the parts together firmly and letting it set is all it takes to have them be almost like new. Sometimes the paint will be chipped, but a little bit of acrylic paint that matches the color will set it up like it wasn't even broken in the first place. The second thing you should do is sort them out. Usually in the instructions, you will have a chart showing the dimensions and the types of pieces and what they're labeled. They'll normally be labeled S1, S2, A, B, or C, so on. And if you match the pieces to the chart and then mark them lightly with a pencil, this will save you a lot of time later hunting around looking for pieces when you're trying to build something. The cloth in these kits will almost always be mashed into a little bag and will be wrinkled and quite messy. The best thing I have found to make working with the cloth easier is simply to iron it. You do have to be careful though. Set your iron on a low temperature and move it very quickly, because a lot of these cloths can be heat sensitive and will begin to melt or pucker if you get them too hot. So just be careful, move your iron quickly, and once they're nice and flat, keep them between two solid pieces of something, say some cardboard, some wood, or even pieces of acrylic that come with the kit to make the dust cover, and that'll keep them nice and flat and ready to go when you're ready. The instructions are usually the worst part of these kits because almost always they are in Chinese. Unfortunately, I do not speak Chinese. A large part of the world does, but I don't. But they will include pictures of what you are supposed to do. And this is the key here. Now, the quality of these instructions will vary wildly. I have had some that were printed on glossy paper, look like a magazine, they're absolutely beautiful, and others were simply a photocopy of the original instructions and looked terrible. They were barely legible, couldn't make anything out. The pictures in these instructions will range from drawings that show you very clearly and precisely how to assemble everything, all the way to a photo that only shows what the in-between steps should look like. The best method here is to gather all the bits you need, find out everything you need for the particular piece you're building, and after looking at all of the steps in the instruction, then go back and start putting things together. Looking ahead in the instructions will clarify any gray areas where you can't clearly see how things are supposed to go together. By seeing how they're meant to end up, it can give you an idea of what you should do, and will generally make understanding the instructions a lot easier. You can sometimes request English instructions from the kit seller or manufacturer, but this has been mostly useless in my experience, as they will use Google Translate to translate to Chinese into English, and that is a poor translation at best. Usually it's completely nonsensical and no use at all. You can use your smartphone and the Google Translate app to translate individual words or symbols, and that will let you know some very simple stuff like should it be wood, should it be white, should it be plastic. Don't expect too much from this because again it is Google Translate, but just translating 1 or 2 words at a time, it seems to be pretty accurate, as opposed to trying to translate a whole sentence is where things start to really get garbled. And finally, the most important thing to remember is not to be a slave to the instructions or the picture on the box. This is your own little world you're assembling here, and this is why you get a kit instead of a completed diorama. You can buy completed dioramas, they're very nice, they look beautiful, they're a little more expensive, but you get a kit so that you can customize things, make it your own. You can rearrange the furniture, you can change the colors of the blankets, the wallpapers, any of the fabrics, and you can take a normal room and make it a holiday scene. You can do anything you like here. It's your world. So remember to have fun with it and enjoy it and make it your own. And that will really bring your personality and the room's personality forward and make something you can be proud of and enjoy looking at later on down the line. So those are my tips and tricks for putting together your own miniature dollhouse kit. Hope you found that useful and enjoyable. And as always, thanks for watching.